allow the two children to attend the budget every year.
It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay.
She
Off your mind.
like me.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go sama us, call them hate speech. But fear not, my ego don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh, yo yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo yo. My ego diary politico, yo yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo yo. And in the touchlight every corner, oh, yo yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Sure. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yo yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo yo. My ego diary politico, oh, yo yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo yo. This one not they off in mind, oh, yo yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that my yegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say my yegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say my yegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh yo yo. My yegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make you shout, oh yo yo. My yegun don't come, oh yo yo. Man of the masses, oh, yeah, yeah. My ego don't come, oh, yeah, yeah. My ego diary politico, oh, yeah, yeah. My ego don't come, oh, yeah, yeah. This man not the off in mind, oh, yeah, yeah. My ego don't come, oh, yeah, yeah. Aha, now you not done here, all these bad politicians, then we call themselves politicians. When they thief our money, we no want make the common man get wetin suppose get for this country. Una never hear something. Now go hear one. My ego, you go show na paper. My ego diary political. So my people make you shout, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun diary ayé bí nọ́mbà wá. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun diary ayé bí nọ́mbà wá. Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú. Mayegun diary ayé bí nọ́mbà wá. Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube. Mayegun diary ayé bí nọ́mbà wá. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun diary ayé bí nọ́mbà wá. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun diary ayé bí nọ́mbà wá. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun diary ayé bí nọ́mbà wá. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun diary ayé bí nọ́mbà wá. Mayegun diary politico. Mayegun diary ayé bí nọ́mbà wá. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun diary ayé bí nọ́mbà wá. ẹ o kẹgbọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o.
Mayegun Diary, na him be number one.
àní Máyégún làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun Diary, na him be number one.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé.
ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun.
Today lórí Facebook. Hello there. So, good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you're joining us. It is brunch time with Mayegun live. Thank you. Now, you know what to do as you are joining after reading the caption of the broadcast here. Read the description is brief. Then like the video. Share it as well. Because there is love in sharing. They say to invite your friends, your not so friendly friends, your frenemies to join us. And once you have done all that, sit back, relax, and let us chat. Also, Brunch Time with Mayegun is an open mic. If you are interested beyond just commenting, reacting, you can pick up your phone and call in. It is an opportunity for even, an irredeemable Ronuku can call in. If you are very bold and confident, don't hide inside the comments, right? Like a keypad warrior. Be man enough. Pick up the phone. Tell us something that we probably didn't know about Athiefku, APC, Egbekegbe, and every other thing going on. I've always made that, option available for everyone. And the only time I have seen either a Buhari idiot or a Bati idiot called into Mayegun's diary political, it is the repentant ones. Yeah, we've had people healed on Mayegun's diary political, a lot of them, and we've had testimonies too, where people, grown-up men, women who call in and say, man, I used to always, thank you, Mayegun, thank you, the temple. So if you have not been killed, you're still very much like irredeemable one. Call in now, let us probably hear you, right? Not hiding behind your phone and typing all those strong words. So that is also what we do on the, during the brunch time. Others listen to this just like, listening to their podcast, sort of. So welcome back, brethren. And as the title reads, people destroying people's crises. Sort of like a deepens is what I should have. But I said, no, it persists. PDP was supposed to be the opposition in Nigeria after ruling Nigeria for 16 years. And it was because of their failure, as well as their division, that gave birth to APC, all past criminals, Al-Qaeda People's Congress, Apààyàn People's Congress, whatever you think works for you. And you see these two Siamese twins of failure, leadership failure, structural failure in Nigeria. One is in power right now, continuing the destruction of that contraption. The other is even struggling to be relevant enough to be considered as an opposition. Why? Well, there is a guy called Werey Wike. You know him. Just trying to make it more narrative, yeah? So there is a guy called Werey Wike. He is a former governor from the oil-rich Niger Delta state of Rivers. He alone, right, funded PDP. Okay, maybe not he alone, sure. Somehow, according to him, he funded PDP from 2019 after Athiefku lost to Buhari second term, returned back to Dubai, waiting for the next election. Werey Wike didn't do it for free because he used the stolen money from Rivers people to fund a lot of things. So what does funding PDP means? To Werey Wike, he was everywhere donating a lot of money, right, in northern Nigeria. At a point, it was actually the bailout state for Sokoto state. He's very kind of like strong friend. In return, like I said, he didn't do it for free. In return, he was looking forward to becoming the southern presidential candidate of the party. Everything was fine. He was expecting at least 14 northern states to back him. To him, he's already locked down the south. Talking about the delegates. Yeah. Those guys, they always give dollars to, right? Those ones that choose the criminals that you would then have to go and kill in the sun and the rain to give power to. They are the most important part of your process, apart from INEC. So Wike spent so much, enough that his own accountant general, what was the full barrister position? Accountant general was declared wanted by the EFCC because of a 425 billion naira unaccounted for money that went into Rivers State and then it disappeared, not linked to anything. That forced his son to make that his accountant general the next governor by crook and hook, by everything. But hoping to become the president, relying on his powers from the north, Athiefku returned back from Dubai. And the men they say in Akwana, in Agejia, and the rest was history. The entire 1.8 trillion naira of River State money that this Werey Wike spent on PDP just went down the drain like that. He ran mad. He became so like that is what changed Werey Wike to. So in the process, Kolu, that is the druggie Tifnumbu, was looking for allies everywhere. He was ready to make a deal with the devil, anything, just anyone. The permutation said the whole thing they need, So Werey Wike was very much available. Oh, he became a free agent, formed a group. After that betrayal, according to him, right? He formed a group and he called them the G-string governors. These were the 5 governors from the southern part of Nigeria, 4 from the southern part of Nigeria, 1 from the middle belt of Nigeria, which is Benue, G-string governors. So they became free agents. Those ones became his own, kind of like his own squad. While he became the leader of the squad, they met with Peter Obi of Labour Party. The only person they didn't meet with was Athiefku. So they met with Tifnumbu, but Tifnumbu still was very much, reasonable. Because it was easier, like, how much did you spend? How much did they dupe you in PDP? They took more than 2.5 trillion naira from me. 2.5 trillion. Okay, what if you work for me and you make maybe times 5 or times 10 of that? Your wish is my command. On your mandate, we shall stand. That was how Werey Wike got that sweet, juicy deal. And he was so lucky. After everything was said and done and all the old shooting, killings and the rest, right? Tinubu fulfilled his promise, and that was like a big comeback for Werey Wike. So he's got the financial muscle, he's got the federal backing, and the more his party, PDP, that betrayed him, remain in chaos, Tinubu will probably have one less worry. So that was easier. So he unleashed a serious leadership tussle in that party. Plus legal, I forgot that he also had the judiciary under his fingertip. So with all of this, PDP stood no chance. There is no chance. So eventually, he partially had his way. Athiefku left PDP for him. Yeah, he had to. Now, currently, Athiefku is, considered as the arrowhead of the coalition, which also kind of somehow gives Werey Wike another sleepless night. But that's another conversation. So if Athiefku was the problem, I think some of the G-string governors started having a rethink, like, okay, maybe it is time now for us to. But Werey Wike don't pledge, say, he will lead Tinubu's re-election campaign in 2027. How is he going to do that with the party? If Athiefku was the problem, Athiefku is no longer there. So what happened to PDP now? So I think they had a disagreement at that point. Seyi Makinde Ibadan, who happened to be one of the G-string, in fact, he was like the deputy G-string leaders then. They call them G-string governors. I call them that, by the way, so 5 of them. So Seyi Makinde Ibadan was considered as a deputy. So Werey Wike ended up as minister under APC. Seyi Makinde Ibadan remained governor on his own second term. So he thinks this is the time they should come together, rebuild the party, and position it to face Tinubu. And Werey Wike was like, it's the worry you, Seyi. Which PDP? No. We are not repositioning any PDP. Until 2031, when Asiwaju is done, and then we can talk about PDP. What do you mean reposition PDP? I think that's where they got their disagreement. I mean, it's easy to predict. To kind of like put together, right? But Seyi Makinde Ibadan went back to the Boko Haram, the Fulani terrorist sympathizer, Bala Muhammad of Bauchi, who also nurses the ambition of being presidential candidate, by the way, which I suspect will be the new Athiefku in their PDP, but that's another story for another day. So they decided to come together and possibly, maybe, hold a convention, elect new leaders, and all these ones with different legal baggages, and they can stop being problems, get some fresh people. Werey Wike called the ring light bearer and cameramen. They should come home. And he said, well, PDP problem is not gone yet too. Because he was not in that meeting where they decided to go and host convention in Ibadan. So he suspected that it was the influence of Seyi Makinde Ibadan, right? That they moved that convention down to Ibadan. And that is something that Werey Wike can't really live with. They don't call him emperor for nothing. So what happened? He quickly puts, works in progress. Or should I say, put actions in motion. So he first condemned the arrangements. And he said, well, he's not aware, so it's not going to happen. Werey Wike is a former governor now. He holds no executive position, but he's got this Anyanwu guy who happened to be their secretary. Long story. Again, that's not the story for today. So they now they are preparing now for their September, convention in Ibadan. Yeah. And Makinde was asked, Are you sure that Werey Wike is okay? Because we saw what is, I mean, we heard what he said the last time, blah, 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 blah. In just 80 seconds. No, it's not up to 80 seconds. The question, the response, everything was 87 seconds. 1 minute, 27 seconds. So I will possibly like say in a space of 45 seconds, Makinde called Werey Wike a pig that is ready to go as low as anything. And for somebody like him, he won't like to go into the gutters with the pig. Not my words. That's what we're going to start from. I've made it easier for you, right? So that you understand the catch up, how we got to, But there is more. First one.
How are you looking out for those who are just Wike's issue, the threats that he get concerning their low advice?
See, personally, when people go low or they go into the gutters, I don't go with them.
Okay, talking about not going to the gutters. What effort are you making to bring people like Chin that addressed the press earlier today?
No, we will reach out to them. I mean, that is democracy. We will reach out to them. Even I can disagree with people, but there shouldn't be anything personal here. It should be about what are we giving to Nigerians, because they are watching. You know, we want to give a PDP. In Oyo State, they showed last Saturday that PDP is not dead. In most other places of the 12 states, PDP came second in each of those. It's some indication to us that if we continue to work hard, if we continue to strive hard, if we continue to bring our people together, we'll get to a point where Nigerians will really start listening to us. Thank you. Thank you.
I don't think it was up to 45 seconds when he said, when people go low, so you don't go into the gutters like as pigs. So now everybody is now waiting for the next episode of Werey Wike's meltdown, when he's going to call the cameramen and the ring light bearers to respond to that. But before that, that same yesterday, you know, from the blues, maybe not from the blues, some men addressed the press. And they called themselves the chairmen, or sorry, PDP state chairmen. And if you have 36 states and the FCT, that will make it 37, right? According to them, they said PDP chairmen, state chairmen, as well as former governors, in what is said to be their position on the other guys' convention, is that they're backing out of it. And I don't know, maybe it's just me, right? You could see the end of Werey Wike all over that too. And it gets worse, by the way. But this part.
Again, any family where you have elders and they sit there and allow the goat and the stable to do delivery, then the elders are not what they are sought. We are members, leaders, state chairmen, minority leader of the house, senators, governors, serving and former, from the southern part of the country that are members of the People's Democratic Party. And we have felt it necessary to address the world this morning. Issues are simple. We have observed cases of exclusion, cases of injustice, actions that are likely to cause problems within the People's Democratic Party. And it is our responsibility to ensure that we address them in order to give our party the cohesion that it requires to move ahead. And so we have called for this press briefing this morning. The press briefing is on the purported meeting of PDP Southern Zoning Consultative Summit. The attention of the undersigned chairman of the People's Democratic Party from the South and some critical stakeholders has been drawn to a meeting nicodemously summoned in Lagos today, the 21st day of August 2025, by some persons purporting to do so on behalf of the PDP members of the South, and they tagged the meeting PDP Southern Zoning Consultative Summit. This meeting is convened by the Admin Secretary Zoning Committee of the PDP at the behest of the Chairman of the Zoning Committee, our brother Honorable Senator Werey, Governor of Bayelsa State, and it is to hold at the Legend Hotel in Ibadan. The said meeting tagged a summit was allegedly convened in the name of the three geopolitical zones of southern Nigeria, that is the Southeast, the South-South, and the Southwest. We say that it is indeed highly regrettable and deeply disturbing that such a meeting was convened without the courtesy of inviting several state chairmen from the Southeast and the South-South, as well as the duly elected National Secretary of our great party, including the Deputy National Legal Advisor of our party, who is seated by my right. Even more troubling is the inexplicable exclusion of several national officers, eminent leaders, and critical stakeholders of the People's Democratic Party. Shockingly, my humble self, the minority leader of the House of Representatives and the National Assembly, and other principal officers of our party from the South-South and Southeast were also deliberately sidelined and denied participation in a meeting where such far-reaching and sensitive decisions on zoning, power rotation, and political equity are to be discussed. Equally concerning is the deliberate omission of most former governors from the Southeast and South-South, who are by every standard of history, every standard of pedigree and institutional memory, remain critical stakeholders in any conversation about the future direction of our party. Such a brazen disregard for established structures and statutory organs of the People's Democratic Party not only offends the spirit of collective decision-making, but also risks undermining the very foundation upon which our great party was built. The People's Democratic Party, since inception, has been anchored on the values of inclusivity, equity, consultation, and collective responsibility. Any process that deliberately sidelines key stakeholders, ignores the legitimate authority of national officers, and excludes elected leaders and ranking lawmakers, erodes trust, fuels division, and threatens party cohesion at a time when unity of our party is most needed. For the avoidance of doubt, we categorically dismiss any resolution.
Unequivocally, unequivocally, all this points to one thing, and that is the PDP crisis, right, is never going to be over. Because come to think of it, this guy asked Werey Wike, for example, that, okay, so if we have a candidate for PDP in 2027, who are you going to support? Your party or Athiefku? I even expected their journalists to even ask that, but you know, Werey Wike, he speaks over them. Wait. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. No, that kind of voice is a madness. Because this doesn't make any sense. He's funding all of this. You said, did you see Ibadan there? That's a former governor of Abia also. He's one of the G-string governors. At least they are no longer 5 anymore. They are just 3 or 4 with Wike. And they are not governors anymore, so they are ex. Only one is governor, I think. Seyi Makinde, yeah. You know? So if they ever ask them and say, oh, my way to, because all of them, all these actions, all of these, they are paid for by Werey Wike. You know? And it was somewhere in Abuja yesterday where the guy who had been the Abuja senator, listen to this, so since 1999, Philip Aduda something. I think that is his name, right? Philip Aduda. And he got defeated by the Obedient in 2023. He's been Abuja senator like 24 years, right? Enough that he basically just had it as, you know, his more or less like his inheritance. Standing up to contest with, to run with him is believed to be a suicidal audacity, sort of. But Obedience came, the entire Abuja, who were supposed to be behind him if he's been serving them, they rejected him enough that they couldn't actually rig it. But Werey Wike, so since then, Werey Wike employed him as his PA, so he goes everywhere with him, so that he won't kind of, because he's got no other life. You get what I mean? Like, he's got no other life, public life. So he had to be hanging with Werey Wike for over 2 years now. So they were together somewhere in Abuja. No, Werey Wike is the minister of Abuja, governor of Abuja, right? So he was somewhere and they were together and he called him out. Is here. It's here. Come. You remember that land, that road that you told me? That road that I promise you, we're going to do it now. Because it's already said that, by crook, by hook, Werey Wike will return him back to that position in 2027. So this was the 2 clowns yesterday, by the way, or the 2 rogues.
That's the Philip Aduda. There's one road he said is about 2 kilometers here. What's the name of that road? Carousel. Consider it done. You know, one thing about government, can you listen to me? One thing about government and politics, support those who have capacity to bring something to the people. Do you understand me? Don't support people who go on television, talk, nothing to show. Do you understand what I mean? Support those that government will listen to. Did you understand me? Don't support those every day just to cry on national television. This is not the time to cry. This is the time to bring something to the people. And what you are doing here, you see, from what happened now, you see that Aduda, government had this air where he is. And that's why government said, where is that road he mentioned? And government said, consider it done. And that is why the chairman of AMAC, who is very good and very humble and very working with us, you can see that since he became the chairman of AMAC, he has brought government to do Saburi Road. He has got government to do Kabusa Road. He has brought government to do Kabusa to Takushira Road. He has brought government to redo this road. He has brought government to do Dede Road. What again do you want from such person? A person who can go to government, give us this and government will give you. What are you wasting time with others who have no access to government? For me, I'm here to talk about people who have access to government and bring something to people. Your chairman has access to us. Anything he tells us, we will do. Don't go and support somebody. If he wins, he'll be crying down. This is the only man I know. If he wins, as chairman of AMAC, who will give you whatever he wants. I don't know the party he belongs to. But I know that he supports Tinubu. Anybody who supports Tinubu, I will support him.
At least all of them heard. You heard him, Abi? Yeah, he's a refra. These are the characters in charge of the country. Like people elected representative, but because it's not close to you in government, Baba, what brings you to government? Is it not when people elect you? The same way they elected the president, that he appointed riffraffs as ministers. It's the same way they elected a senator. I'm telling you, but with clowns like this, government and governance means different things. That is why when they promise to reconstruct or rehabilitate 2-kilometer road, they consider it as a favor. Not them doing their work. It's a favor. And he also just exposed it there that indeed, if your representative doesn't support Ifnumbu, they will deny you everything that is constitutionally yours. And they will be right. Nigeria is in law. Like, damn. Oh, it was in what's that place called again? Or Wushishi, whatever it's called, where he's promising them, the borehole, his own water projects that water don't come from. Bus terminal, their buses don't walk in. I've been at bus stops, that there are no buses or anyone uses right now. I've been at the 39 billion naira hall renovation. By the way, it's not like a bit with a pressure. Renovated hall, 39 billion naira without working air cooling system. But it's all over the place. And everybody, all it takes is just to wow, knock your head like that. And that is in public. In private, you will see grown men, possibly with their pot bellies, lying down to greet him. So you may be wondering why he feels so like God, because you have no idea what these men, what they do for him behind when the camera is and the light is off. Yeah? You know, people, general belief was that, oh, women, they love money. Once you present money like this, a woman would, she will melt like that, everything. Allow you. Have you seen where men, they worship their fellow men before because of money? Have you? Oh dear. Their shame go to shame you. Yeah. When men, a grown man, go to worship a fellow man, like saying, clean the yarn, scroll on the floor, do everything, simply because his existence and his or he is a being man depends on his on that guy. Have you seen that before? At least women get power. You know, you give them money, you want them to do, even when with your money, they still get some control to some extent, and you won't know because you will think you are the boss. But go and see where men, they worship fellow man, crying because they won't collect one contract from him. His banks want to kill him, and this is the only saving grace he has. He is willing to give his wife to another man just to be able to get a contract that will save his ego, save his face, save his big manism. Have you seen that before? I have never seen anywhere that a woman will go to another, woman, and that will be like, no, go and bring me your husband if you want me to help you. And the wife will walk straight back home and say, follow me. I don't think that is real. So when you see these men who are doing like this in public, you think they are humble? Okay. They are not. Men are very, very, very useless when their survival is in the hand of another man. You will see a very useless husband. You will see a very useless father. Your papa action will shame you. You say, Daddy, is this my father? If for Denebo, if Kola Wole, Alaji Bature, Alaji, Alaji. If Alaji no roll on the floor, before you know it, Alaji Mamati Pongpong, he go they push wheelbarrow. That big Alaji where they buy a limousine, they buy mansion and all that, right? That is how much men can go, how far men can go for power. That is why somebody, they go tell us, say, now you go become the next governor. What we need now is just to bring fresh 7 girls, virgin. You will use their blood to bath. And he won't think it twice. He won't. Say 7. Yeah, okay. Yeah, all right, sir. We'll get back to you. That's how desperate they can be. I'm a man, though. I've not found myself in that situation yet. So desperate to do anything. Nah. I'm not that ambitious. And I'm contented. Just saying. That's so disgraceful. It's not a sign of humility. Not a sign of respect, because they are just a bunch of rogues who have no morals. These are moralless people. They have no morality. But they will do anything for their fellow man, as long as that big bottle where they take this, they hold like that. They don't snap out from their mouth.
But to the other people in Shenababushi or so, in Abuja, here was Werey Wike addressing them.
The Honorable Minister of State, Federal Capital Territory, the National Secretary of the PDP, the single senators here, particularly Senator Magnus Abe, Senator Bao Habua, Senator Philip Tanimbo Aduda, the head of service and permanent secretaries that are here, executive secretary of the FCDA, mandate secretaries that are here, area council chairman of Kwale, Amak, Buhari, Kuje, and Labaji. There are traditional rulers that are here, the Deputy Managing Director and the management staff of the CGC Nigeria Limited. They are good friends of the media, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen. Let me thank the people of Buhari for coming out in their numbers to participate in this very important occasion of the flag off of the provision of water to the satellite towns. Remember in 2023, when we were appointed, we had stakeholders meetings in the 6 area councils. And I did say in one of such area stakeholders meetings that the president is desirous of providing potable, clean water to the satellite towns. When we made that statement, of course, as usual, people will always see it as being politics. Who is sure that this will be done? But I reminded you that one thing you must give to Mr. President is that when he makes his promises, he always fulfills his promises. Today, we are in Werey. Tomorrow, we'll be in Cairo. In essence, taking 2 area councils together. The president had mandated that, yes, the contract for this ought to be 18 months. But we discussed with the contractors and pleaded with them that they have to do all it takes so that by the 3rd year anniversary of Mr. President, we'll be able to commission these projects. And when the contractors assured us that they will try as much as they could if funds are made available. Based on that, Mr. President immediately approved the release of 50% of the total contract sum to CGC Nigeria Limited. And I hope by the grace of God, knowing the commitment of this company, in whichever job you give to them, they will deliver on time. Now, what this tells us also is that we are not concentrating development only in the cities area. We are also carrying development to the area councils. By the time we finish in Werey and Cairo, in the next year's budget, by the grace of God, we think we may go to Kuje, Kwale. And then by 2027, by the grace of God, we will have taken over Gwagwalada and Abaji. So by the time Mr. President full 4-year tenure expires, we would have touched all the satellite towns by providing them clean, potable water. Now, the company has told you here, of course, this will stop you digging your own boreholes, providing of tanks and the rest. All you need to do is to just link up to the general district, and then the water will flow. Clean water, treated water. Unlike the one we do in our boreholes, not treated. This is fully treated water. This will provide jobs for our teeming youth. At least not less than 1,600 direct and indirect employment. I appeal to the traditional rulers, I appeal to our youth, I appeal to our women, I appeal to all our community members that take this project as your own project. This is the first time a government has said, you too deserve to have potable, clean water because water is life. Not just saying it, but implementing it. So take this as even more important than road that you have always protected when contractors are on site. If you can protect contractors when they are constructing road, you can imagine what you would do as regards to supply of water, which is one of the basic needs of man in life. So,
you say the government has decided that to give you clean water. So now that the government has decided to say, oh, you don't dig your own borehole again, we'll dig the borehole for you. You just bring your pipe and you connect it to. They should be grateful. Because according to him, this is the first time government is thinking that people deserve to have water. And 21 billion naira is being committed to it to make sure that they give you an extended borehole, right? So, Buhari people, congratulations. And we hope the water turns on and not end up like the other ones that is, right. Now, here is another one. In case if you have not heard from their Chief of the Defense Staff, his name is Christopher Musa. Yeah, the supposed head of Nigeria Defense, I say, right? So he was on TV and he was talking about the challenges of protecting all of you. And then they discovered that it's kind of like overwhelming. But you will make it, you'll make it easier for them if some of you can learn self-defense. And according to them, they said by law, right? You see, those of you who are doing NYSC, you actually reserved army. They say if Nigeria go to war, they can't run short of soldiers. They will draft you in. Are you aware of that, by the way? Yeah, if you have done NYSC or you are doing it, you are actually a reserved soldier. All those training they are giving you, they are not just for fun, no. Yeah? All those endurance trek, they are not for fun. You are reserved Nigerian army. Or maybe you are even aware. What am I even saying? There's no way you're going to pass through the NYSC that you probably won't grasp that in one of your orientation, blah, 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 blah. Abi? Somebody practicalized it, self-defense. Literally. But it's real words, right? Or stays. Listen.
It is a survival instinct. Forget even whether we have war or not. It's a survival instinct. And that's where you see in Europe, swimming is compulsory. Learning and teaching about security, because you have to know what security means. Sometimes you see individuals, you see somebody coming in, you don't know who he is, no background check, nothing. Even before independence, Africa, if you come into any community, people know, find out who are you, what are you doing. But nowadays, I don't know whether it is...
see something,
say
something.
Something. No, that's how you help the security forces.
General, Nigerians continue to bury loved ones from terror attacks, from Plateau to Zamfara to Benue. How do you explain tonight to grieving families that the government is truly in control of this security crisis?
Yeah, because there's been a marked improvement. I mean, we cannot just, like I said, we cannot just stop it overnight. These guys, what they do is that they look for soft targets. These same informants will tell them there are soldiers here. They look for and identify where there is nobody, and they strike. Most of these areas, there is no network. Before you even get the information, they have gone, and before you react to those areas, you go. And that's what we're saying, that it's important for us to have infrastructure, evidence of democracy. Because again, that helps to ensure that people don't get recruited quite easily, because it's this easy way of recruiting these people into the system that makes it a lot. We are taking out weekly so many, but you'll be surprised that so many are also coming in.
I was going to ask
and those are the issues on ground. Yes.
Because President Tinubu, part of the promises before he got into office, and when he got into office, he promised to make security his #1 priority. More than a year later, 2 years after, kidnappings and mass killings still dominate the headlines. So why does it look like the reality is not matching the promises?
Yeah, but like I told you, there is never any country in the world that is crime-free. No country in the world, and it's not possible. As long as there's humanity, there will be crisis.
But would you say
It's
that
what you do
Nigeria
about
is safer today than it was 2 years ago?
There's a lot of improvement. The president is doing so much to support us, and again, you know, the humanitarian departments also doing their own bit, and everybody trying to rally around. Like I said, it's a whole of society approach to this, not one-sided. Before now, people used to think it's just a military solution, but we said no. The non-kinetic effort does a lot in ensuring that people don't get recruited, and once they cannot be recruited, they cannot survive. And that's why it's important for the communities not to allow them thrive within themselves. There's a lot of things going on and a lot of actions being taken.
Give me a short moment, General.
Now to on far. Ma okuta to wa nbe ma yoku nbe. Ma sabi gbata ba nsa ewa.
Musa, Christopher Musa, the Chief of the Defense Staff of Nigeria, said that, you know, they are trying to instill some level of survival instinct into all of you. But I was describing it earlier, and some of you are just laughing because to you it's like, that's very funny. You know, imagine Nigeria is fighting war with Niger. The God talk say, okay, oh, if no more, I wanted to invade Niger Republic that time, remember? So now let's say they send the 10,000 soldiers that they mobilized to Sokoto until David Undein kind of like broke the news, and that just exposed the whole thing, right? So let's assume that David Undein did not, you know, break the news that time. And Athiefku and his gang, they went on, they were like, they were just going to go into Niger Republic, go to Niamey, yeah? And I think Niamey is the country's capital, like your own Abuja. Just go in there and get this guy out, release the corrupt president that they locked up, you know, that coup. Do you remember? Right, so let's assume that they send the first 10,000 within maybe 11 or 12 kilometers into Niger Republic, they kill all of them. They send another 10,000, they kill them. They send fighter jet, and before you know it, like that time when we see them told Athiefku that if them boy your papa well, we will fly over Niger Republic. Nigeria come and bear for nothing. And Athiefku had to fly circle. Do you remember that time too? Yeah, that was when things were hot, so they declared that Nigeria should not fly over there here. And as much as Nigeria get air power than Niger, Athiefku can't take France. Instead of him to just cross over Niger like that, Morocco, Libya, Niger, straight to Abuja, they had to carry him go Benin Republic, right? Before they started flying him to Abuja. So let's assume that they send all the fighter and everything blow. Because they receive text message, the same way you were receiving the alert, Alawi. Say, dear, Copper, we. They expect you to say, wa. At that point, they will put it in brackets, like in your head. Say, Copper, we. You go put and say, wa. Get ready, put on your gears. By 0600 hours, we are coming to get you to the war front because NYSC. Where's you go to? When you start hearing that now Oshogbo kunle they go now from Oshogbo to Sambisa Neo. They don't dress her now, him be soldier. They say because it was NYSC. Like I don't know, like I've got this mind that can conjure things together, right? To create a thought, kind of like a thoughtful moment where you begin to be like, so what are you going to do? I mean, how do you call twins? So, which twins? Ejima, they don't carry them all. They were just going from Enugu to go back to their primary place of assignment. Now from there, then they Shuba now for Sudan because the war, they won't close like that. Like, do you ever even imagine it? All everybody go just they run. They're not gonna know why you they run. They go to say everybody they run because of war. They're not going to say they run because they ask you to come and go to war. They need to explain this to everybody, okay? NYSC is actually a reserved army for Nigeria. But because Nigeria know they fight war, you know, rather than come and get you gone, they would rather recruit the repentant terrorists and pretend that they are fighting war with the terrorists. You know that, right? Oh, the guy went on, right? He went on to talk about the reasons why they have not been able to really fight the terrorists, because they don't manufacture their weapons. They are not like the Americans who have all of that. And most of the weapons they order for, they don't come just like buy it off the shelf. So you have to wait for the manufacturers. You have to wait for some of the technology. You shall talk a lot. But at the same time, personally, in charge of the insecurity in Nigeria right now, one of them, and a country that is spending the 1/3 of our budget on defense, the more they spend on the terrorism, the bigger, better the terrorism business in Nigeria looks. Now he's talking about building the wall. Maybe we'll go build the wall. Put camera on it, put fence, put drones. Aye, right. Musa Seyi.
So we have to rely on using those.
And some of these enemies, they capitalize on
all this
incapacity.
Good. Those
to
are
be able
to take advantage of.
Because, for example, I remember when some Americans were talking about the elite forces that came to extract an American in the Northeast region. It was monitored in DC remotely from Pentagon. It was monitored remotely, and the operation went without.
And do you know the amount of money that was spent in doing that?
Yeah.
Because they have the capacity, they produce the equipment they use. We don't do. We have to rely on buying. Sometimes even with your money, you can't get those equipments. Now with the Russian-Ukraine war going, a lot of equipments are difficult to come by. So that's why I'm happy that Mr. President has last year approved, after signing the DICOM bill, the Defense Industrial Bill, for us to now invite original equipment manufacturers. Let's produce. Because when we produce, then we can get much at money's worth. If you don't, it's going to be extremely difficult. And so we're working on that, and that has really continued to.
But there are other markets. Turkey is there.
Even there, it's not easy to come by. Some of these things you pay, you have to wait a long time for these things to be produced. And so, but I think the trick out is for us to produce. Because once we start production, employment for us, we save our foreign exchange, we can also sell to our neighboring countries. And so it's a win-win thing. And I think that's what we are going to continue to work on. But on the general term, I think, again, to show that things are improving, the oil price is coming down, petrol is coming down almost on a weekly basis. The Naira is stable. The GDP has improved, even if it is slightly, but at least it has appreciated to show that things are really, really picking up. For the first time, I was reading today, foreign reserve has climbed 41 billion, which is massive. And I think if we continue like this gradually, our oil production has increased to 1.8 liters beyond our OPEC quota. We are targeting 2.5, 2 million, 2.5. I think we can achieve that. To do that, again, we need all our oil wells to be working efficiently. And I think the president wants to go into that to ensure that all the oil wells have the right people that will operate them so that we can benefit from God-given talent. And we've been able to address this issue of bunkering. It has reduced to the maximum now. Stealing or theft of fuel has also increased. All the major producers are reporting green in all their pipelines, so they are producing 98% for the first time in a very long period of time.
We are anticipating 2 million
barrels. We're targeting 2 million barrels, and at most, when all the oil wells are, we're targeting 2.53. Nigeria can achieve that. It's very possible.
Yeah, hopefully. And I don't want to sound like American President Donald Trump, but I'm hoping that this might also be an option, building walls in some part of the Northeast.
Well, we had my comment. That's what I preached. I said we should build walls from critical areas. Especially this 1,500 kilometers. If we're able to take it out and make sure we secure it fully. And it's not only the walls. When you put the walls, you have to use technology. Put cameras, put drones, so that anybody crossing is known. And again, I keep on saying, it's important that we must develop a database for Nigeria. We can never shy away from having a database and the only way we do that, let's compress every detail we have into one document. We know every Nigerian, we know how many vehicles, what house, what road, what street. When you go abroad, you commit a crime, there's a 50-50 chance that you'll be caught. It's not by magic. It's because they have your database, they have your number. All they require for you is you get your thumbprint or get your face or your signature, and they can track to where you are. We must be able to leverage on that and to develop.
Are you aware of what the Ministry of Interior, because I spoke with the Minister of Interior not long ago, Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, who said he couldn't speak so much about what some of the effort, but I said that there are efforts in remotely and digitally monitoring our border space in this country. Are you aware of what?
No, we work together. We really exchange a lot of ideas together. We sit down to brainstorm on issues and ways forward on how to address these issues. And it's working. It's working quite very well. We need to do more. That's what we say. We need to scale up well and to assist them. If we have a data.
Ó dàbí ọ̀rọ̀ ẹni tí ọpọlọ rẹ̀ yòrò tàbí ẹni tí Ọlọ́run fi síbi aláṣà àwọn ọpọlọ rẹ̀ bí ọpọlọ ikú ó jọ mọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ tọpọlọ rẹ̀ ò tó nǹkan rárá tàbí ètò wà ń bẹ kó má tiẹ̀ wúlò mọ́ rárá.
You heard all of that. As contradictory as many of the nonsense is spewed. Well, let's pick few of them. According to him, Nigeria has no money or resources to really fight the terrorism the way majority of us want to see it as, right? Because Russia, Ukraine, has made it difficult for them to access weapons because they can't produce it themselves, but they want to be producing the weapons themselves. So we are working on that to start producing. Then he went on to talk about the oil bunkering. Oil bunkering in Nigeria has been taken over by the military. They are the ones running it. And it went on again to say, because of their effort, they have managed and succeeded in reducing stealing of Nigeria crude oil and improved production. The next question you should be asking is, if that is the case, very simple, very simple. If that should be the case, why is Nigeria now borrowing so much? Because they've not got enough revenue to fund their budget. Why? What happened to the 1.8 million barrels they are pumping every day? Because they are borrowing. Then he was asked about the position of the Minister of Interior, Olubunmi Ojo, who bragged on TV that they have satellite watcher that watches Nigeria borders. But Mr. Defense Chief says, if they could have something monitoring, meaning that he is basically not aware or that doesn't even exist. Does Nigeria have any spy sort of like a network? Of course they do. Nigeria have a spy network, but their job is not to spy to prevent crime. Their job is mostly to spy majorly on Nigerians, on what they are saying or doing about government. The other one is to protect the criminals, because most of the time they will tell you that they didn't get the order, or we didn't receive the order, or the order said we should stand down. Order. Meaning they have a spy network that only protects criminals. We have evidence of that too. Compromised institution, which has now put the lives of millions in danger. So what was Musa talking about? Kept contradicting himself. And these are the issues. The issues when you ask them and say, but what about this or that? They just twist it and they start talking faster. Jargons. And there are people who are fascinated by them. Oh, don't get me wrong. Oh. Those that will look at somebody like me and say, so are you saying you have more information than somebody who is... No, I don't have. He's in the position to have all the information. But he's a stupid person the way he sounded. He's got nothing. That tells it, like, if I was your chief of defense staff, with my training, with the resources at my disposal, I won't sound so dunce and so stupid on TV and pretend that I was actually making sense, praising Tifnumbu, the military. It was like a politician, and don't get it twisted. By the time he takes off that, that nice uniform, he's going to put on an agbada soon. It's never about your security or safety. Trust me. The people of Jos that suddenly see the upsurge again of the Fulani terrorists invading their farms, coming straight into town as well, prompted these reactions in Jos just yesterday.
Fulani people, when the guy there inside his farm, immediately Fulani people just come. They make him inside the farm and they put their cows inside the farm. You talk to them in polite way. Please, more than pursue una cow inside the farm. The Fulani guy refused. If you talk to them, pursue them now. Una not see what cow they do inside my farm. Pursue them, let them come out inside the farm. They refuse. Before the guy understand, they come up for us, knock out for his head. Now we don't carry the guy go hospital now. It's not even talking, blood the rush, everything the rush. You understand? When I say okay, as far as they don't knock him for last for his head, now we don't know whether the boy will survive or will still alive now. He's stay hospital now. Okay, let them call the Fulani people, their elders, let them come and see what their children do. You understand? If something happen like this, we need to get elders. You understand? My age and your own cannot be the same thing. You understand? Before the elders come, they start rushing one guy here again. What is happening again? Now, when we get here now to settle the matter, we see soldiers come, they shoot gun. How we go do now? How we go do? They are telling us that we should relax, While they don't knock for that guy in the hospital now, what are we going to do to that guy? What are they going to do? If that guy not survive, you think that people they will agree? No. People not going to agree now. Sure. Now if people come gather, see what is happening. Look at it.
I bet you're sorry.
They don't finish that guy. They don't finish his farm now. They don't finish everything now. Now it's still the hospital again. Sure. Which is with your own property. You don't feel your mouth and talk.
Sure.
Please, government should talk about it.
More government, as I don't hear them now, try to do something about this. This is a public issue. We're out here, we are trying to solve some matters, and people are still out there. And we are seeing this, everything is going for them back like that.
Right. This is some people's everyday reality in Nigeria, and they are not allowed to talk. The military protecting Fulani terrorists, shooting at the residents, and then their chief goes on here to say they are using non-kinetic and kinetic. You guys have cleared through your Operation Safe Corridor. You have cleared, what do you call it? You have cleared over 300,000 terrorists. As repentant terrorists, you are celebrating their graduation on TV, on papers, planting that on the screen for Nigerians to look at them, including their victims. Repentant terrorists, kinetic and non-kinetic approach to terrorism. Like, really? Yesterday, the people of Malapanshi, I think it's called, in Katsina, buried all their dead killed by the same Fulani terrorists. Shocking? Not really. They attacked Muslim worshippers in their mosque. Men, women, children, and all that. In a one fell swoop, they killed 27 of them. I don't know if you are aware, are you? Probably not. Probably not. "27. And there is no word from Tifnumbu. It's illegitimate regime. You know, everyone is started with their 2027 narratives. Because, you know, for those who survived till then, there should be enough to validate their electoral haste again. This guy took his time to talk about it, just like every other thing.
Top of the day, ladies and gentlemen. I hope this finds you well. I'm here on a very, very sad note. The picture you're seeing below is the pictures of the dead bodies of the Muslims that were massacred in a mosque in Malumfashi in Katsina State. They all went out to pray, the Fajr prayer, that is the prayer that we usually offer at dawn. And then bandits, unprovoked, entered the mosque and unalived these people for no reason. Yes, for no reason. Over 28 people, some reports are saying 13, but it's over 28 people that were massacred in this mosque. Now, sometimes I come out here and I make videos, and then some of my brothers from the south will say, is your Fulani brothers, banditry is a Muslim thing. Now look at it. Where in Islam, there is nowhere in Islam that is being stated that go into a mosque and attack somebody. No. These guys are hiding under the umbrella of Islam. I have to be honest with you. Who goes into a mosque and kills someone while he's praying? What kind of Muslim is that? That would go into a mosque and kill someone while that person is offering prayers? These people innocently left their homes that morning to go to the mosque and pray. And this is what they got. Just because they went to the mosque. Reports are saying that it was a retaliatory attack because vigilantes of that same area, they actually arrested some bandits, arrested a catch of weapons. That was their crime, because they wanted to protect themselves, because the government have been unable to protect them. They wanted to protect themselves. They organized a local vigilante. They went after these bandits that have been terrorizing their lives. They got some of them. They got some weapons. And then the bandits thought to retaliate in the mosque. And somebody is going to come and tell me it's a Muslim thing. Or somebody is going to come and tell me, oh, that's what the Islam has preached. No, there is nowhere that this has been seen in Islam. This is terribly unacceptable. And we're having a national security advisor from the northern extraction. People are now being annihilated in the mosque. People are unalived in the mosque. God knows that wallahi, there is going to be a very, very, very serious problem in northern Nigeria if something is not done about this serious insecurity. Now it's not in the bush anymore. Now it's not on the roads anymore. Now it's in the mosque. This is not the first time they are doing this thing. Over 28 people unalived for no reason. Come on, man. Like the gospel truth is, this is terribly sad. I am terribly angry. I would always say it that nobody is above these things happening to them. So once you see something like this and you laugh, this insecurity is everywhere. The government of Katsina State, the federal government should do something about this. That was how some times back people in Katsayal were also unalived. Places in Zamfara. So if you think banditry or this kidnapping is a northern thing, then why is it happening in the north? The previous video I made, some people are saying it's a northern thing. Go and deal with it. Why is it happening to northerners? If it's been put up by northerners.
The cost of fuel has gone up. Food and other prices have followed it. Households and businesses struggling. Things seem anxious and uncertain. I understand the hardship you face. I wish there were other ways, but there's not.
Chai!
It's just a reminder, brethren. But he is very right. The terrorists are not really sparing anyone per se. The Fulani terrorists and the areas they are targeting them for just singular purpose, to take over and dominate. Maybe the Muslims they killed are not Fulanis, obviously. Maybe they are Hausas in Katsina. You know, Katsina State, most part of this, they are what they call the Sharia North today. They're populated by the Hausas. But yeah, we know the story how it all ended in Hausa Fulani. But is there anything called Hausa Fulani? No. There is a Hausa that is Fulani. Abi? So take a look, just dig deeper. The terrorism is basically about the Fulani dominance. And there are those who have foolishly supported them because they thought they shared the same religion and somehow they speak the same language, Hausa. Now, when Hausas hear them speak Fufude to themselves, they are completely lost. They don't have a clue of what they are talking about. And do you want me to tell you something? The level of animosity between the two supposed tribes, Hausas and the Fulanis, in northern Nigeria, Baba, is actually stronger than the politically created hatred of the Ronuku's politically created hatred between Yorubas and Igbo. Seriously. Because you see, the Hausas understands their history. Unfortunately, it seems like there is no way to turn it around anymore, right? So they loathe them. And the Fulanis are considered as very, very arrogant because they consider themselves far purer and better than the Hausas. True story, if you're an Hausa person listening to me right now, your blood may begin to, because you know I'm saying the truth. So you see all this facade, this fake one north that the politicians are pushing. It's all for politics, so. Yeah, it's all for politics. And like I said, there are those who kind of are comfortable with that sort of degrading from the Fulani flock. Do you know what I mean? So when you hear that they entered the community, they killed Muslims, you shouldn't kind of fall for the, the terrorism. If the terrorism is created by the North, why are they killing Muslims? No. A lot of you are hiding behind this, your fake northern Nigeria. A lot of you know your place in that northern Nigeria. To be honest, you do know your place. The people of the Middle Belt have now discovered that they are just mere political appendage, a mere political pawn on the chess table of this Sharia North. When it is politically convenient, they call all of them one northern Nigeria. But when the Middle Belton says the Fulanis are killing us, we don't want the Fulanis on our land, then the hostility against them is intensified. You have no idea if you're not from that part of Nigeria. So it's all obvious, and thanks to Bokuwari, which made it kind of like obvious to remind everybody that when you are done lying to yourselves, right, look in the mirror. You are not the same in that sense. And they've made it even worse enough that any effort to try to say, it's just pretense. Let's pretend that we are. I'm not discouraging those of you with the strong belief that, Mayegun, you are wrong. leadership, a good leadership will change that country and all of that. I'm not kind of discouraged because I can't. Everybody is going to arrive at his own reality at some point. When you're going to tell yourself and say, oh, more, no, I mean, I'm done. I'm done expecting that. Because it takes two to tango. It's not just your criminal leaders of that contraption that are worse. Millions of intentionally gullible people, because it can be intentional too. You can be suffering something and pretend that you are not. You get what I mean? Everything is this country, this country is very, very, man, you imagine? But at the same time, I'm so proud of this country, if not because of our leaders. Now it takes two to tango. So I'm not discouraging you. Yeah. But let's leave that. For northern Nigeria, it's the same. Maybe everybody should just follow the advice of Christopher Musa, a Middle Beltan, who is currently pretending that the government that he is part of, the operations that he is sanctioned and is being part of, is actually working better while bodies are piling. So everybody go learn self-defense. So if you don't know what is self-defense, right? Take this one, whole body. Start with this. Who knows? When you hear the like that, just run out of your house. Practice it. Who knows? That may be the only thing that will save your life. Stop laughing. That's one thing about it, right? So am I even you're funny? I'm not trying to be funny. Okay, no, I don't want to be, but I don't want the message to be lost on you because it's actually a joke. Not that I want to be funny, but jokes are supposed to be funny. It's not every joke that is funny, right? The rogues in charge of that contraption made mockery of what running a country should actually be like. They've normalized absurdity. They've promoted quacks, inefficient and incompetent rogues to a position of important authority. And the effect of that is what you are witnessing today. So the joke is on everyone. And it's not funny. Right? Here is a young man who got so brutalized by this same compromised system, brethren. Yeah? Because he won't part with $1 million or so that the police wanted to extort from him. He got brutalized. And he's not just the only person. We just have to hear from this one. Right? Hear this story. An encounter that will further tell you Nigeria would need any chance with these guys in charge.
My name is Seyi Makinde. Yesterday I took my younger brother to go wash my car. On our way coming back after washing the car, some police stopped us down along that Ibadan road, that Oyibo side, that new interlocking roundabout road close to that side. They stopped me down, they asked me for my papers. They said I should wind down my front. I wind down the front side. They said I should wind down the rear mirror. I wind down the rear mirror, which I did. He now demanded for my papers. I brought out the papers. I handed it over to him. He flipped through the pages and he said, your tinted permit is expired on the 12th of August, which is some days ago. Are you aware? I said, yes, sir. So what are you doing about this? I'm going for renewal, but their portal is somehow crowded. He now said, okay, what are we going to do now? I mean, I don't know, maybe officer and all those kind of things, and I'll be our father, all those things. What are we going to do? He now said, I should revise the car, we should go to the station. I thought I never reached that level, now I go just revise car, we go for tinted permit. this thing time still there now. We're just laughing, like it was happening like a joke. We're laughing because it wasn't serious. You cannot say normal. Yeah, sometimes we all day will laugh. Normal road, they pass every day go my house. Right now, I call the policeman, something I go do now to make I go house. The policeman come to say, make I give him 1 meter. Jokefully. I come to say, how is I mean I no hold ruler or tape now. I want to give you measure 1 meter, give you. We now laugh. I say, don't joke with me. What is what? I tell you 1 meter is. I said, how is 1 meter? And I said, 1 million naira. I said, for what? I keep person for tinted permit. Even person will keep person. They pay 1 million naira. But now tinted permit we save na road safety home. In I go book my car. I will go pay for fine 50,000 or 10,000 according to the constitution. I don't know how it be there, but I know say no reach 1 million naira. When I bargain, they say I'm going to arrest me. I like officer will be our children now. Listen to will be our children. Will be your children now. You know reach for that. Like bargaining and talking. I step outside. Okay, the man has to before I step outside. Man asking, what can you give us? Officer, I be our father now, and I do good job. Okay, man, just appreciate when I work with 20,000 naira. I don't get any money here. My one black one, I was say, 20,000 naira for what? 20,000 naira do for us. You see, of us there, yeah? 20,000 naira go for 20,000 go do for us. As officer, I don't kill anybody. I won't give you 20,000 for appreciation and cola. So I don't come see chief. I don't come. You don't be. You know, you go see chief with empty hands. While we are arguing, and I stepped outside. Let me call a friend that can just help me at least some money. Let me just add up with what I have and give them so that I can be going home for peace to reign. One fair one saw me as I put the phone in my ear. He ran towards me with so much alacrity that I was afraid, but I just stood. He like I say, who are you calling? You want to say you get contact, Abi? We go show you say the place you don't get contact. We go deal with you. You're a criminal. In fact, come and give me that phone. I said I cannot give you my phone. Officer, you don't leave motor matter the entire phone. What do you want from my phone? He said, give me that phone. Your video. I said, you're calling somebody to come and. I said, I'm not calling anybody. I'm not videoing you. I'm not calling anybody. You people start to give 1 million. I'm trying to make call to say I can get money so I can give 1 million naira. The man said, for that, I'm taking you to the station. I said, officer, before I was so he just gave me dirty slap 2 and he brushed me. I fell on the floor. When I fell on my left side here. He carried his leg. He stood on my head, close to my ear. He stood and crossed and said, you're a criminal. I will treat you the way I'm treating criminal today. You're a very you're a vagabond. You're a criminal. You're a thief. He came back again. I was still on the floor. He matched me again and crossed to the back. He came back again the third time and matched me the third time and crossed. I was like, he not put me I was beating me, punching me out. If you have seen the video, you see that I kept my hand. Obviously, what I do now? For now, 1 million naira for tinted. 1 million naira for tinted. I don't give 1 million. I don't get 1 million to give. That's the only thing I keep saying. Obviously, I don't get 1 million naira for tinted though. That's the only thing I kept saying. 1 million naira for tinted. That's about the standing. Before the one black one that was still there went around, came, give me punch, give my brother punch. My brother was like, okay. After they were beating me, my brother now got angry. I was like, this boy didn't commit any offense. Why you put handling him, treating him like a criminal? That's not how to handle somebody. This is dialogue we are having. They enter him beating too. That slapping that boy, that black man, I say, my chum, went inside the bush, came out with stick. He hit my brother friend that I carried, hit my brother, even the girl that was with us. They naked that, as in, do them respect, as in, beat this girl, tear her handbag, because they felt she was videoing them. She said she's not videoing them. Her phone rang, trying to pick because she's videoing them. They started beating her, dragging her on the floor, push her inside gutter. Then they were like, officer, I was walking towards a project, I was kind of, officer, calm down. As I was going back to meet them, that fair man came back to me again. He brushed me again. I fell on the floor. He stood on my leg and passed again. That man that was with stick, that black man, like, he now came up from the bush now with his stick. He said, you are a criminal. I will show you how we treat criminal. You will know, you don't have anybody. He said, in fact, he now drag his gun and say, today like this, I go shoot you. Nobody go do anything. You're a criminal. I don't say, don't shoot me. I don't do anything. Na tinte pamido. I don't do anything. Na tinte pamido. That's what I kept saying in the video. Na tinte pamido. Officer, calm down. Na tinte pamido. I don't get 1 million naira to give you now. Na tinte pamido. Na nido. Officer, don't shoot me. He now came with the stick. After they now brushed me again, I fell on the floor. He carried the stick. He wiped me here on my ankle, here on my leg. That guy now stood on my leg again. He wiped me here on my shoulder and dislocated my shoulder here and on my elbow. He now left. One man was trying to come in. One bypass was like, calm down. Waiting the boy do. He now left there and say, in fact, he won't show this boy. Say, the boy don't get anything to do. I don't even know. As they held me, That one they call SK, they shot him SK, a chubby man, one fat man, and he's skinny, he has dry legs, but has pot belly, he's skinny, and one other fair one. They held me by the side, they raised me up, my leg was no longer on the floor. I received a dirty slap behind. That time when I just turned, say, make I look who slapped me, and that man carried that stick. He said, you're a criminal, I will kill you today, nothing will happen. Boom! On my head. That was how I staggered and went to the middle of the road. One Corolla nearly hit me, so I just fell on the floor. But before I lost consciousness, the only thing I heard was, enough for, go. Carry that one, throw that. They carry my younger brother, boof, and they put it inside the car, and they zoom off with my car and my younger brother. They left me there for dead. I was on the floor there for roughly close to, this will happen around 5:30 to 6. When I gained consciousness from the ground, because nobody agreed to carry, no motorists, they were all just passing by the roadside. This was all see me and pass. The only person that was disturbing was that girl, my handling, that was trying to shake me, wake up. Then my brother friend was going to look for help. That's when I gained consciousness and I came to my senses. I like, oh, Sasafo don't die for this place. So, I managed. I got to beg people to come. When I carry me, I beg. I no be thief. I no be cultist. Now police, so because of tinted permit. When I help me carry me go hospital now, no motorists, no cyclists, no keke driver carry me. All I kept shouting was, I no be thief. I no be cultist. Now police break my head though. Make una help me because of tinted permit. That's all I kept saying to you. One good Samaritan, one old man, I won't forget that. The good Samaritan carried me on his bike. After everything, when I got back home, I saw my brother sitting down at the doorpost crying with handcuff on his hand. I asked him what happened. Why are you with handcuff? He said on their way going, those police thought that I was dead. They pushed him out of the car with the handcuff and zoom off with his phone. They came down, pick up his phone from his pocket. After they pushed him out, collect his phone from his pocket and zoom off and left him there because they thought I was dead. So now, today now, after so much call and everything now, I now found out that it was anti-kidnapping. They say it is main Okoro division that did that treated me the way they treated me yesterday, like a criminal. After they searched my car, they didn't find anything incriminating. They searched my pocket, they didn't find anything. Search all of us, they didn't find anything incriminating. My name is.
Yeah. You probably sat there and you're just shaking your head like, God damn it, man. Especially if this is the first time you're seeing the video. He lived to tell his own story. Not many lives to tell your story. Not many lived. Nigeria, that they think you are the marketing by showing to the world that all this madness, all of these human rights abuses and extortion killings, extrajudicial killings that you read about, they actually happen to real human beings, flesh and blood and bones, who also had dreams and hopes like you. God knows what you have on your mind right now as you are watching Mayegun for a little bit of a distraction from your troubles. Immediately Mayegun says goodbye. Everybody goes back to, it's like a satellite thing, right? Everything that bothers you, including things that actually excite you, your hope, your aspirations, your dreams. Any of them that you don't want anything to take you away from right now. But we have people who have lost their lives, their dreams, their hopes, their whatever, everything dead. And they are now sort of listed as just statistics. Many of them didn't even make it to the headline. You can't run a country like that. It's not normal. It's not right. The rot is so deep. Yeah? That sometimes you probably have to be like, where do you want to start from? It could be somebody else telling a story. And it wouldn't probably have moved you by any means. Oh, they killed my brother. So my brother did nothing. It was because of tinted glass. It was, yeah. And he's telling you the story. It won't move you. That's somebody who just survived that. He lived to tell his own story. brethren, may Nigeria not happen to you. You better say amen. It's a very straightforward prayer. And if you do have your own politically correct gene inside you, telling you that may Nigeria happen to you, the same thing, amen. But the only thing is this, everything may be so scarce in that contraption. There's something that is very, very much in abundance. And that is the democratization of shege. Whether you are rich or not, whether you have a connection or not. The shege that is available inside that contraption is in abundance. Oh. Everything else may be in scarcity, like non-existence, but the shege, it will touch everybody. That's the point. Here is an ex-international lamenting how his late colleague was treated. Pastor Taribo West, remember him? And do you remember Peter Rufai? Yeah, okay. JJ Okocha, Daniel Amokachi. Who else? You know those guys, right? Well, one of them is not happy. And he has now vowed that none of his own children would ever play for Nigeria in any sports. He was that embittered. Pastor Taribo, tell us your grouse.
For me, it's disheartening that you have Lagos States, you have Nigerian Football Association. They dropped the buck on the family. I felt in my spirit there is nothing to put your life for. That's why I say I have to shift back so that I will not implode. It's grieving. My mother passed on. I never shed tears. My father passed on in my hands. I never shed tears. Then when Rufai passed on, I had ghost pimple on my body. And every individual I'm speaking to, there was, tears of lamb rolling through my cheeks. What kind of nation is this? With this kind of example they have shown in Shefulue, in Stephen Keshi, blessed memory, Thompson Oliha, blessed memory, Rashidi Yekini. I will never advise even my son to put his feet for this country. Send me out. Do we have a football federation? Or do we have a football association in this Lagos State? That this hero, this soldier, this football evangelist has to be treated this way and his family. Could you imagine that the family will be crying just to solicit in within our groups to ask for money? That is madness. Look, please let me go. I don't want to pour my heart.
ọ̀rọ̀ tó sọ yìí ọ̀ ń ṣeré ní àbọ̀ ń ṣe èrè ọ̀rọ̀ tó sọ yìí ọ̀ ń ṣeré ní àbọ̀ ń ṣe èrè.
Peter Rufai himself, a legend, no doubt, and I think former hero too, right? And they said if you live long, you're going to see your own heroes become villains. In Nigeria, sportsmen actually really have it better, to be honest. They are paid well for a week, what do you call it, sporting event or a month sporting event than they will ever pay a soldier that is fighting terrorists. Right? And if they manage to win any silverware, there are so much bounties for them to share. Right? That's enough that some of them even have their own gigs abroad where they made so much money than any of their counterparts in that contraption. Put it that way. But they have a very, very corrupt, useless football of footballing authority. And they are aware of that too. So how many of them ended up in penury, financial ruins, right? And not even taking responsibility is a different conversation. But if everybody feels like they want a working country for themselves, especially those of them who have actually lived outside Nigeria, you know, plied their trade and careers outside the country, and they go back to Nigeria and they have seen that many, many millions of children could have been possibly lifted out of poverty if these rogues invest in sports. They are aware. But no, they are Nigerians, right? Peter Rufai, sometimes in 2022, they just took themselves to go and see call. Remember this?
We all are here to celebrate you, to support you as our incoming president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
There's nothing wrong in openly supporting someone if ideologically, right, you think they will do a better job. However, once they begin to fail in that expectation, it's also ideal for you to possibly, especially if you are an influential person, it's always good for you to come out again and say, well, you know what, guys, I might have misled some of you. This is absolute bollock, nonsense. But not make yourself pretty much available that as long as they can, you know, I know this person, I know that person. If he becomes governor, if she becomes president, my life is better. I may never suffer again till I die. The fear of poverty. That one that is saying that his spirit is killing everybody, you see a tear of the lamb and all of that. Taribo Abi, Pastor Taribo. Unwelu strong, you know, your own voice strong past that day. That's when I realized that maybe that was after they told them that if Nubu said they should give everybody so amount in dollars. Level prayer, yeah. You go no say it is money induced. Prove me wrong.
That you are accompanying him. We leaders that have heart for this nation. That will put their blood in line to see how Nigeria can be restored back to this place of that glory. Amen. It's incredible that we hide him under your brow. We speak to the four corners of this nation. I command them to be arrested. That the Bola Tinubu movement will be established. To this
I'm move past you. You know Mumu reach me, guy. I swear to God that talk. I'm move past you. I'm move past you, gege. I'm move past you. Ask anybody. See, you go argue this thing, but I swear to God, I'm move past you. You don't see where they move before. Me, gege. I'm move past you. I'm move past you. You know Mumu.
So today, he would not wish for his own son to put his foot on any football for Nigeria. Lie. We arrange and say Tifnubu is meeting the ex-footballers in Ask O Rock, and the whole story is going to change. You can see them, they shine teeth. And suddenly, it will become like, Nigeria needs to be patient. You know, I mean, Mr. President is a very passionate person. Just like a father. I could see the love. You see, when he saw us, he saw that we are very sad. Right? And he told them to give us roasted corn. And he even sat there with us, like when we were eating and we were very crying and Rufai, Peter Rufai. So what now happens? Honestly speaking, I misunderstood him. After I met with him and everyone, I was like, the man is doing well. Oh. In fact, we should be praying for him. Oh. Ask Zach Oji. His experience will tell you something. Everybody is looking for opportunities, like, you know, connection, so to say. Anyway, I'll leave it at that, and I will see you later. So I'm going to do a small fundraiser tonight. If you turn up, maybe you can help as well. So I've got my GoFundMe back up. and I've got my orders too. I hope to see you then. Enjoy the rest of your morning or afternoon, right? And don't forget to share this if you haven't already. Good afternoon.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Nayibi number 1. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Nayibi number 1. Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú. Mayegun dayari Nayibi number 1. Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube. Mayegun dayari Nayibi number 1. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun dayari Nayibi number 1. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun dayari Nayibi number 1. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun dayari Nayibi number 1. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun dayari Nayibi number 1. Mayegun dayari politico. Mayegun dayari Nayibi number 1. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun dayari Nayibi number 1. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Mayegun dayari Nayibi number 1. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Nayibi number 1. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Bí gómìnà kówó jẹ. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá ti ń darí bá. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe. Ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe. Ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Mayegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀. Mayegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe. Fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o. Ayé. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀ kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀ ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́hún sọ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. èèpo ọ̀bọ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti jọba lórí abínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán wò á kàmù. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì o ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.